Welcome. In this video, we're going to go over setup and the basics of how to play Ascension Tactics, and then follow up with a solo playthrough. So down at the table, Ascension Tactics is a miniatures deck building game for 1 to 4 players. Each player count kind of gives you a different mode to play. So of course, solo, it's going to be you against the AI. And there's a scenario book with a whole bunch of different scenarios in there on how that can happen. If you're playing with 2 players, it's going to be 1 versus 1, or in the back of this is a campaign that you can run through with 2 heroes. And then, of course, if you're playing 3 or 4, then it's going to be a free-for-all, just trying to get the win condition of the scenario. So just like your basic deck builders, we're going to start with a fairly weak deck that we will use to purchase better cards and get more champions in play and try to meet the win condition set forth in our scenarios. So for the first one, Battle of the 3 Shrines, you can see this is for 1, 2, or 4 players. Let you know how many minutes it'll last, our victory conditions. If you're playing 1 versus 1 in solo, first player to reach 30 victory points is winning. Let you know the different player counts, the terrain that'll be needed. And this map tile is dual-sided, so it's got printed on the terrain we need for the first scenario. If we flip it over, this is just a blank map, and you can use the tiles provided to make what is needed there. And it's going to suggest rosters there for your different teams. So you can do this, or you can go ahead and draft. For this playthrough, I'm just going to use what they have suggested down here. I'm going to play as a blue team. Against the yellow team will be the AI. It's going to give us our goals here. So we need to control the shrines. Honor shrines are controlled by the player with the most champions on and adjacent to attacks. At the end of your turn, you gain 2 victory for each honor shrine you control. Multiple players have equal number of champions in that shrine's area. It's contested and no player controls it. Each shrine is scored individually, so it's possible to gain victory from multiple shrines at the end of your turn. Unless otherwise stated, the honor shrines in all scenarios are worth 2 victory. So for solo and co-op, when setting up the battlefield, solo or co-op, be sure to assign the objective token to the boss champion. So we'll get that set up, and then assign the 3 remaining ones to the other different shrines. So the 2 shrines on the edge are going to have an objective for 1 villain champion to get to, and the one in the center is going to have 2 trying to get to it. And of course, we can randomize those to get different villains. So we'll go over our setup first. So the map is basically set up with our gateway entering for blue team and yellow team. We have our shrines set up here. We have forest, which basically takes double movement to get through. And they show places on the board where we need to set up some treasure. So we'll just take all the treasure tokens and spread those around and put those in the indicated places. And the rest of the treasures is going to go into our treasure bag. Then we'll take a look at our cards out on the table. So on the board, it does label cultists to go there, heavy infantry, and mystics. So the cultist cannot equip constructs. We'll take a look at those here in a bit. Shows their strength, so when they attack, how much damage they do. Shows how much power we need to spend to activate the unit. And lets you know if they take damage equal to or greater than this number, they are going to be defeated. And we have a stack of our heavy infantry. So looking at our cards, this is what it's going to cost to get. So 2 runes will get us this heavy infantry hero, which is going to provide us 2 power when we play it from our hand. And we have mystics. They cost 2 and it's going to give us 2 runes when we play it. Then we're going to get to our main deck. This will let you know these will go into our main deck, so we see what the back sides of those are. If you sleeve your cards, good luck with shuffling those. So just looking in here, we're going to have, basically there's 4 different factions. Got Enlightened, Void, Lifebound, and Mechana. So it's just going to give us a name, their cost to purchase, and then what they'll do when we play them. And down here, the number of pips is how many of this card is in the stack. So we've got an Enlightened hero here. So when we play it from our hand, we're going to draw 2 cards. We have constructs. So these are things that you can attach to our champions. So what this one is going to do, it's going to make our cost to activate a champion cost 2 less. Ambush effects are going to happen when you purchase the item and put it into your discard pile. So we've got constructs, heroes, and we can also get additional champions that will go into our lineup that we can potentially put to work. But most of our constructs are going to have more on there too to give us higher strength and defense and sometimes additional movement. So with a quick look at our cards, I'm going to do my best to shuffle these. So I'll just take half a stack here, shuffle those. And break those in half, and then take this big stack, which was too much for me to pick up. Separate those stacks, and I'm just going to shuffle this one because I'm probably not going to see the rest of the stack. Just going to move this off to the side. We'll use this. So we've got 6 spaces here to fill our lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to start with a Dreamwalker, cost of 4. It's an enlightened hero. When we purchase cards, they go to our discard pile. When we play it from our hand, this one is going to give one of our champions +1 speed and command it for free. Got a Faithful Guide, an enlightened hero, Ambush. So when we purchase this, we give a champion +1 speed. When we play it, acquire heavy infantry or mystic for free and put it into your hand, and then banish the Faithful Guide. Soulbender Thavor. See his cost, Ambush. So when we purchase it, we're going to gain a treasure. And when we play it, we'll gain 4 runes. May command your champions equipped with constructs for free this turn. Nice. Got some Blast Goggles, a construct we can put on one of our champions. Play Blast Goggles, draw a card. Gives us +1 strength and +2 defense. Then we have a Thicket Familiar, cost of 1. The bonuses it's going to give us: Lifebound Allegiance means if we play another Lifebound card, we're going to get that bonus. And another Faithful Guide. So that's our starting lineup there. And then, of course, this is giving us our suggested roster. So our blue team, we're going to have a Flytrap Witch, our Templar, Runic, Lycanthrope, and the Twilight Scout. And yellow is going to be the Bringer of Despair, Prime, the Spike Vixen, and a Mechana Initiate. So we're going to take the blue Gateway card. So we're player 1. Once per turn, we're going to gain 2 power that we can use. And for playing solo, we really don't need to give these, but if you're playing multiplayers, on the first turn, they're going to get bonuses to help them out. So we can just put those to the side for the solo version. So for our startings, we got the Witch, Templar, Lycanthrope, and Twilight Scout. And these are the cards going to have a blue bordered background. So our Witch has a Lifebound Allegiance. So if we play another Lifebound card, she has ranged. And after she defeats an enemy, slay, we get to draw a card. She hits for 7, takes us 4 power to activate her and a defense of 7. Then we have the Templar. When we slay something, may command another of your champions for free this turn. Hits for 8, takes 3 to activate, and a defense of 5. And our Runic Lycanthrope, Lifebound Allegiance, so he'll get +5 attack. So 3 without that, takes 2 to activate, defense of 6. And then the Twilight Scout has +1 movement, so all of our champions have a base move of 3, so this one comes in with 4. See the strength, what it takes to activate, and defense. And then our baddies starting this game, we've got the Bringer of Despair, Prime, a Spike Vixen, and a Mechana Initiate. The villain cards are dual-sided, so the black border is for solo. They're going to have lower numbers. On the other side, it's got a gray border, and that's if you're playing co-op. So you see for him, Bringer of Despair is +1 movement. When he slays something, he deals 2 damage to all player champions. This can happen only once each round. Hits for 8. If we defeat him, we get 3 victory points. They don't get victory points for defeating us. Takes 8 for us to defeat. And there's his mini. Then we have Prime. He's got a movement of +1. On slay, each player destroys one of their constructs. Hits for 7, takes 7 to take down, and we get 3 victory for defeating. Then we have the Spike Vixen. After commanding Spike Vixen, if there are 2 or more void cards in the center row, place a cultist on or adjacent to Spike Vixen's objective token. Hits for 7, defense of 5, and 2 victory if we defeat. And then we have the Mechana Initiate. If there are 2 or more Mechana cards in the center row, it gets +2 movement. Hits for 7, defense of 5, and we get 2 victory points if defeated. So we're going to make this one Bringer of Despair our big boss. So his goal is in the center. Then we're just going to make Prime. Want to go to this location. We'll put Vixen in the center. And the Initiate wants to get over here. So our starting deck of cards, we're going to get 8 Apprentice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 Militia. We'll go ahead and shuffle those up. And we're going to draw 5 cards to start with to be our opening hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 1 power and 4 runes or money to purchase cards with. And then the AI cards, they have schemes. So we'll take all those cards, shuffle them together, and that's going to get us ready to play. Well, let's go over the player turns first. So for our gameplay, the turn breakdown, on your turn, you may take the following actions in any order as many times as you like. Play cards to gain runes or power and other card effects. We can acquire hero construct from the center row by paying its cost and putting it into your discard pile. So right now we've got 4 money. We can spend that 4 to purchase anything here. After we buy something, it will immediately replace itself. So if we bought this for 2, we'd put that down there and immediately replace it. We can acquire a champion from the center row by paying its cost and adding it to our roster. So we'd grab our mini for that also. And if a champion comes out of one that's already in play, we'll just discard it and grab another one. Or we can command one of our ready champions by paying its command cost, then exhausting it. So we can only activate our champions once per turn. So when we have finished taking those actions, we place any played hero cards into our discard pile along with cards still in our hand. Draw 5 cards from our deck. Ready all of our exhausted champions. And then score honor for our objectives. So if we've got people on or adjacent to these 3 objectives, we'll get 2 victory points each. Then for the AI, the villain's turn, we're going to play and execute the top card of the scheme deck. Then we're going to play and execute the next card in the scheme deck, put both cards in the discard pile, and then score victory points based on the honor shrines they control. They do have some special rules for those. Villains do not become exhausted after they do something, so they can activate multiple times per turn. Also, when we're defeated, that's going to exhaust our champions, but when we defeat them, it does not exhaust those. So they're not exhausted when defeated. They can be commanded more than once per turn. Players earn victory for defeating champions equal to the number listed on their cards. The villain champions cannot pick up treasure tokens. When we end our movement on a treasure token, we can pick that up and add it to our group to use. The villain acquires a construct from the center row, ignore any ambush effects. The villain equipped with the construct defeated or the construct is destroyed, banish that construct. So whenever we're defeated, we're going to discard any constructs we have put on us. And villains can score honor during their turn. So if they are at a location matching their objective token and are commanded but cannot defeat another champion, they will immediately score their victory points and then also score at the end of the turn. So with the basics of the game there, we're going to go ahead and just get into the gameplay because that's the best way to learn. So we're going to go first. All right, so for our first turn, we're spending 1, 2, 3 to activate our Templar. So he's going to come in at our gateway. Everything's got a base movement of 3, so we're just going to go 1, 2, 3 with him. Then we have 4 money to purchase with. And this is the biggest thing we can get, the Dreamwalker. Give one of your champions +1 move and command it for free. Feel like that's a good card, so we're going to purchase that. Goes to our discard pile. Place it with Samael. So for 8 fight, we recruit this champion. As an ambush, acquire a card for free, command him for free. When you command him, you may command up to 2 cultists for free. That'd be nice. That will end our turn, so we're going to discard our cards. Draw 5, which is going to look like our starting hand. And we've got nothing to score, so on to our villains. Going to resolve one of these, so banish this in a row. Deal 2 damage to each player champion for each lifebound card banished this way. So, lifebound, we have 1 card, dealing 2 damage to him. Basically with damage, it sticks until the end of the turn. At the end of the turn, if he hasn't died, gains all of his health back. So all those get banished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now we have a Wrench Priest, a Weaver, Shadow Star, Thicket Familiar, Plasma Rig, and a Giga Cultist. So that's it for that. We don't have 8 cards or more in the discard pile. Mind Feast. Each player discards a card at random from our hand. So we're going to lose a card. So losing an Apprentice, and then we're going to command our green, which is Prime. Their first priority, if they can kill one of our champions, that's what they want to do. If they can't kill one of our champions, they're going towards their objective. You want to come towards this green one. Is a movement of +1. So spawn there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Could land on a treasure, but they do not get treasure. So those 2 get discarded, and back to our turn. Well, this would have readied, so we're going to spend 3 to activate him again. 1, 2, 3. Get us some treasure. So that's going to give us +2 defense at some point when we want to use it for any of our characters. Then we have 3 money left since we've already discarded a card. And with that 3, I think I'm going to get the Plasma Rig. So an ambush, put this into our hand. So as we purchase it, it goes to our hand, and we can play it on one of our champions. Give him +2 strength and +3 defense. Oh, he's on the board, so he's getting a little extra protection. That gets replaced with a Lidless Eye. That's going to be your turn. So shuffle in 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got our Apprentice lot. Then over here, command the green, then immediately score honor shrines controlled by villain champions. Bummer. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he's going to score there to get 2. Then banish the center row, deal 2 damage to each player champion for each void card banished this way. So 1, 2, so he's taken 4 damage. He's got a health of 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we got a Muramasa, an Arbiter, the Earth Tyrant, Lidless Eye, Invocist, and a Frenzied Cultist. And end of turn, he's controlling there. We are 1 power short of activating that guy. So we're going to spin 2 to activate here. It's got +1 movement, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Got +4 defense. And with 5 money, command one of your exhausted champions for free. That seems pretty good. Oops, that gets replaced with the All-Seeing Eye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, over here. Villains gain slay, gain a victory point. We're commanding green. That's a bummer. So he's attacking for 7. Fortunately, we have a defense of 8. So that means he is not going to go after him. What that does mean, he's going to immediately score that. It's going to get him 2. So 6-0 right now. Not going good for us. Then we're going to command green and surge. So he's going to score again for 2 more. Surge is an ability that triggers on certain villains. And since we didn't bring villains in, this game's going to be a little bit easier than normal. But so far, this easy game, we're getting crushed. So he's got 8 there at the end of the turn, up to 10. 10-0. So what we're going to do, spend 3 to activate him. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, attack for 10, which will defeat. And that gets us 3 victory points. So finally, we've got something. Then we're going to give one of our champions +1 move and command it for free. So she's going to have a movement of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another fight that's not going to do anything for us. We've got 2 money to purchase with. Could get that for 1. Command a cultist for free on ambush. It's not terrible. Or we could just get 2. I think we would do that. We're going to get a heavy infantry for 2. And we're going to score 4. So drawing into an apprentice. One, 2, 3, 4. Another apprentice, a couple militias, another starting hand, basically. Then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're getting a discard pile. First thing, villain champions get +5 attack this turn. We're commanding the yellow. He has a special ability. If we have 2 more constructs, it gets more move. We do not. So moving for 3, spawn 1, 2, 3. And then each player banishes the top card of their deck. Then we're commanding red. This could hurt, but it didn't. And he's coming in, going that direction. He has +1 movement. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we have 8 cards in the discard pile. So we are going to spend 2 + 2 to activate here for 4. So it comes in there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 3 money. We're going to take the lidless eye. So on that one, when we play it, we get to draw 2 cards. They get replaced with an innovative aspirant. We're going to gain 2 4 victory points. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apprentice, heavy infantry, a couple more apprentices, and a dreamwalker. All right, over here, each player discards a card at random. All right, so giving that a shuffle. And we're losing an apprentice. Commanding the Spike Vixen. It's got a movement of 3. Wants to go towards the center. It's 1, 2, 3. We have 2 voids over here. If there are 2 more void cards in the center row, place a cultist on or adjacent to her objective token. So we'll sit that right there. Then since we have 8 or more there, deploy a cultist on or adjacent to her hex. Another one comes in. Then place a cultist on or adjacent to the red hex. And surge, we have no surge ability. Each player discards a card at random. Then we're going to command the red. This is not going well. So we're losing an apprentice. Red is activating, moving for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they can go through their own characters. So they got a pretty firm hold on that area. All right. And they're going to gain 2 victory points. All right, we're going to play Dreamwalker. Give one of your champions +1 move and command it for free. We're going to choose here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. +1 move and +2 attack. Then we're going to attack this cultist, defeating it. And that's going to get us a victory point. And we're going to spend 2 to bring in a lycanthrope. So 1, 2, 3. Then spend 2 to activate the cultist. 1, 2, 3. Then we only have 1 money. Of course, she's exhausted, and that's exhausted. So the only thing we can get is a frenzied cultist. Ambush, command a cultist for free. We still can't command the same thing twice, so we'll bring in another cultist. 1, 2, 3. And we're gaining 2 more fight. You may command... Oh, yes. Ambush is just commanding. Discard pile, and we are done. We're going to get 4 victory. That got replaced with a land talker. Ready everything. Apprenticed and Vocist. And 3 more cards coming. One, 2, 3. Militia, Apprentice, and some infantry. Over here. Villains gain Slay, get a victory point this turn. We're going to command that one. She's got a movement of 3, hitting for 7, which is enough to take out the witch. So that's what she wants to do. 1, 2, 3, attacking for 7. We're going to respond, giving us +2 defense so we don't die. And there were 2 voids in here, so it's going to bring out a cultist. And players discard all attack treasures. That's a bummer, so we're going to lose this. And command green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then she gets +5 and 2 movement. Then we're going to command her. And that previous damage is still there, so attacking and defeated. So exhausted. Then going to, well, after she attacked, she would have moved over here. Then command her again. Still got +2 movement this turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Move and take this guy out. So that was nasty. Oh, wait a second. She activated again. They can have a max of 4 cultists in play. Of course, we only had 12, so I painted them all, or 3 of each color. So bring in green for over here. And that's going to end that. So back to our turn. We're going to command one of our exhausted champions for free. So 1, 2, 3, hitting for 7, defense of 5. Get out of here. Oh, I did forget the extra 2 for them commanding there. So we came in defeated. We get 2 more. Of course, that's ready for us. We're going to spend 2 and 3 to activate him. 2, 3. Nope. We need more movement. Nope. We'll do it anyway. We'll just move to this side. And we'll activate a cultist. 1, 2, 3 to defeat this one, but we'll swap it that out with the right color. We get a victory point for that. We've got 2 money. We'll spend 1 here. And that gets replaced with another 1. That'll work. Ambush, command a cultist for free. 1, 2, 3. That replaces with that guy. End your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Littlest Eye, a couple apprentices, and a cultist. And we're going to score 4 victory points. So we're at 23. Then over here, bad things are going to happen. Banish the center row. Deal 2 damage to each player champion for each enlightened card banished this way. Let's see, enlightened, we just have 1, so everyone's taking 2 damage, which will take care of them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've got some Dogs of War, Cult Peddler, Conduit Monk, a Vine Weaver, a Pollen Pixie, and a Void Rager. Then commanding her with a movement of 3. 1, 2, 3. Void cards, we have 2, so she's bringing out another cultist. Then that's it for that. 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope, that's not going to, the bottom's not activating anyway. Equip a construct from the center row to the gold villain, and then command him. All right, construct. We got hero, 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 hero. So no constructs. So it just gets commanded. There are 2 mechanas, so it gets +2 movements, a movement of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The bottom isn't activating, so we are contested there. They definitely own this, so getting 2 more. And our turn. And we're going to play this to draw 2 cards. Then we're going to play this for 2 fight, and that for another, which will activate him. We may also command a cultist for free this turn, which we'll do. So he's going to move and hit for 10, defeating this one, which gets us 3 victory points. Then we're going to command a cultist. 1, 2, 3. Then for 2 fight, we're going to move on top of the hill. Actually, no, we're not, because she's not strong enough to defeat. She's only hitting for 4. We did play life bound. This one's got range, but we can't have enough to use her. He's activated. We're going to spend 2 to bring him out. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we'll put it there. Then we have 4 money. With 4, we're going to pick up Dogs of War. We got a hammer coming into play. It's Going to end her turn. Drawing 2, Dreamwalker and Apprentice. One, two, three. Then we're not adjacent there. We've got nothing there, and we're contested there, so no more victory points. So over here, each player destroys one of their equipped constructs. That's not good. It goes to our discard pile, commanding him. And they want to go after the biggest thing they can kill. So he's attacking for 8. They want to go after the highest defense. So defense of 1, defense of 7, defense of 6. So 1, 2 takes her out. And he slayed something. Deals 2 damage to all player champions. This can happen only once each turn, which will take that out. Then commanding gold steps up here, defeats. Player banishes the top card of their deck. Command gold. Let's see, he can't reach anyone. Or can he? He's got a movement of 5. So yes, he can. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's hitting for 7. Then each player banishes a random card from their hand and command red again. This is not going well. Ooh, we lost our Dreamwalker. Nope, he can't reach us, so he's going to go back there. End of turn. They're getting 2 victory points. And we're in trouble. All right, spending 3 to activate him. 1, 2, 3. Spend 2 to bring out a cultist. 1, 2, 3. Then we have 2 money. We're going to get the Pollen Pixie as the ambush, put her into her hand. Then we can play her for 2 fight to bring out another 1, 2, 3 cultist. And that's going to replace with the Cult Peddler. Ending her turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Invocus, Militia, Apprentice, Littlest Eye, and another Apprentice. And we're going to score 2 victory points. So we're at 28. I think we just need to survive one more round. Over here, reveal treasure from the bag and give all villain champions that bonus until the start of their next turn. Then we're commanding red. All right, so we've got our treasure bag. So everyone's getting +1 move, +2 attack. And then red, so now has a movement of 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. Hitting for 10. All right, there went our hopes. So he's hitting for 10. 8 plus 2. We can only get up to 9. So we're down. Then surge and surge again. There are no surge abilities, so we lucked out on that. Surge, lucked out on that. Deploy cultists on or adjacent to each honor shrine. They're all in play, so can't do it. But that one attack was bad enough. Oh yes, and when slayed, he deals 2 damage to all player champions, which killed them. Then they're going to get 4. Up to 22. And for our turn, we're going to start by drawing 2 cards. Apprentice and a Frenzied Cultist. Oh, this thing would probably be 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. We are going to command one of our exhausted champions for free. So 1, 2, 3, attacking for 8, defense of 5. So we get 2 victory points for that. which is going to take us to 30. And we'll play that for 2 power, and we may command a cultist for free. So 1, 2, 3. Spend 4 power to bring her out. 1, 2, 3. We played that, which gives her range, but range is unfortunately just of 3. So 1, 2, 3, can't shoot anything. So that's wasted on us. We've got 3 money. And we'll just go ahead and buy that. You may destroy an enemy construct. There aren't any. That's going to end her turn. But we're at our 30 victory points. So that was a close fought battle between our blue team and our yellow team over here. So that's the basics of how to play Ascension Tactics. And that was scenario 1 of many. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.